going to do is I'm going to give a brief overview on Google Analytics. What I'll do is I'll basically kind of show you how it works, some of the screens that you can actually see, some of the information you can gain. And then I'm going to flip over to the other side, which is Webmaster Tools. And what the difference is between the two of them is Google Analytics is going to tell you things for the front end. That is, what people are looking for. When they do a search, when your site comes up, they click on it, how are they coming into your site? So you're really looking at how the consumer functions. On the other side, which is Webmaster Tools, that's the back end. That is your software. That's all of the technology. So that's how the Google bots go through and analyze what is in the back of your website and how they're going to index you to figure out where you're going to come up when someone searches. See if I can get this right. So what is Google Analytics? Basically, it's a free service offered by Google, generates statistics. Does anyone ever remember when it was called Urchin? Did anyone ever remember Urchin software? It was back in the early 2000s. It was this amazing analytics software program that was very, very expensive. But it had great pieces to it, and Google recognized that, picked it up, and has added it to the big toolbox. So what this basically does is gives you all sorts of statistics on how people are coming to your site. There are 80 different charts and statistical data information that you can get from it, plus you have the opportunity to customize it. So if you're actually working with someone who does SEO for you, they can customize different types of graph information that you can use depending on what types of campaigns you set up. You can get it in with, you can mesh with your AdWords campaigns. So there's all different things that you can do with analytics just beyond the charts that I'm going to show you. Here we go. So why is it important? Because basically, as you're putting out information on a regular basis, you need to know where are they coming from, what pages are they going to, how long are they staying on the site, how quickly are they leaving the site, are they going through a set program, such as, let's say you had a product and you wanted somebody to click on it to put it in their cart, and then they wanted you to go to checkout, but then everyone was dumping out at the checkout. You have the ability to look at what pages they're coming in on and how they're leaving. So it's really knowledge about the consumer. But the ultimate goal is that when you have a search, so if everybody who's heard about the pigs in the mud cake, you put in pigs in the mud cake, and I'm coming up on the first page. So the biggest thing is I want to see why is it that I'm doing that, because my analytics are going to tell me why I'm showing up here, and I'm going to show you in a little bit how all my numbers, when you really put them together, and then you say, oh, now I understand why I'm on the first page. Also, the big thing with coming up on the first page is that 90% of the people that hit the first page, that's probably where they're going to leave from. So if your information isn't coming up on the first page, we do have opportunities for the second page or the third page, but we have to figure 90% of the people are on the first page. Probably 5% of them are going to go to the second page, 3% to the third. But once you're out of those numbers, the ability to become found becomes less and less. So what we want to do is monitor and analyze the traffic. So as much as I brought up the pigs in the cake, hold on. This thing is a little touchy. We're still trying to figure out how to use it. Okay. But I can come into my analytics. If I'm showing up on the first page, I can come into my Google Analytics and go, well, that's my biggest landing page right now. And it says that I've got 9,000 people, 11,000 people coming in on that page. So I can start to put two and two together of, well, the reason why I'm probably coming up is because that search is being done quite often. I'm not going to have fun today. Hold on. But once again,
Can I help you from here?
I think I've just got to, this is the only one I have to go back on. I'm just going to remember to be very light on my fingers. So where do you start? And I started this morning. It really starts with your website. Before you can really get good analytics or get some good, be able to do a site map, put information into your back end, you've really got to look at what your website looks like. And you want it to be interactive. You want to make sure that if people are landing on certain pages, they're going to get the information that they need. Because if they don't, what's going to happen is they're just going to bounce off your pages. You really want to do an overall look at your site and say, is this thing ready for me to be able to get good results from it? The second thing is that you also have to add quality content. So any good website today, if you're really trying to monitor it, you've got to be increasing the number of pages that you have. The number of pages means you're either going to have to go in and add more pages to your site because you have products and services you need to talk about, or you have to add a blog. Blogs are really what are pushing SEO today, search engine optimization, because it's relevant information, it's keyword quality, and it's what's being indexed immediately in Google or any of the other search engines. If we have quality content, what do we need to do? We need to identify what our keywords are. So there are some tools that you can use for your keywords. Google Keywords, one of the best ones that you can use, very easy to use. If you go into it, it allows you to look at keywords in 3 different types of categories. The first one is by phrase. So if you have a keyword phrase you want to use, you can put the keyword phrase in. If you want to put a website in, start with your own website. Put your website in and identify what keywords are showing for your website, or what types of keyword combinations search engines are associating with your website. Take your competition's website and put it in. It's going to show you how they're being searched. Because if you go in and you play Joe Consumer and you start putting things into the search engine and you find you're not coming up in a search but your competition is, you would be surprised that when you run their website versus yours, there is a big difference in the way they're using their keywords. Yes?
Can they tell whether you are looking at their website?
No.
Okay, so it's not as if your competitor can go in and say, huh, my competitor is monitoring me.
Well, they could do an IP search, but it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, they're not going to go in. If people went in and checked all the times that I go in and run websites there and on Marketing Grader, no. I mean, you're just going in. There's basic information there. I mean, you can go onto your competitor's website, you can look at their page source, and you can look at all the keywords that they use in the back end anyway. All that information is available. But you can put it in by website, or you can put it in by category. So if you have a company that goes by a category, you can run the category and see how the category is being searched at this time. Here we go. Once you have those keyword combinations, you can go in and you can use a thing called Google Trends. What Trends does is it takes all of these different keyword combinations and it's going to tell you how often they're being searched. So if you go to google.com/trends, you can put a number of trends in place at one time, or you can set them up separately. But to every trend that I ran, it's going to give me a different result. So what I did was I basically took eBay, Craigslist, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau. And I ran all 4 of them just to see, okay, which one is searched more often. Then what I can do is I can click on the tabs, and it's actually going to tell me some of the related terms that are coming up. Now I can take this from 2004 out to the present. I can bring it at an international level, or I can actually bring it down to the United States, and I can click on Massachusetts, and I can actually look at how people within the region are searching for these terms.